Citi just released two brand new credit cards, the Citi Strata and Strata Elite. And while new additions to the credit card market are always exciting, Citi's case, it just kind of makes things confusing. This is because Citi is most famous for their Citi Trifecta, an affordable credit card setup that delivers tons of outsized value. And so you'd think that the newly released Strata cards could maybe work their way into this Trifecta, but I'm not so sure that's the case. Today, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into the Citi Trifecta and try to figure out which combination of these 5 Citi cards will give you the best bang for your buck. Now, I think we should quickly cover what a trifecta is in the first place and why someone might consider this credit card setup. Basically, a trifecta is just a fancy way of saying a credit card setup consisting of 3 credit cards. Pretty straightforward. Citi isn't the only issuer with this unique trifecta setup. There are other popular issuers like Chase and Amex with their own variations, but most of these trifectas offer value in similar areas. There's usually one travel-focused credit card. There's typically also a credit card that would be deemed a catch-all card that earns an elevated multiplier on just your general day-to-day spend. And then there's kind of the point workhorse card, where for very targeted applications or targeted spending uses on this card, you can earn elevated multipliers up to 5 times back in most instances. And so even though a trifecta or 3 credit card setup with just one issuer isn't going to give you a 100% optimization of your day-to-day spend, that's not really the goal. The goal for these trifectas is to give most people, the average user of credit cards, a very effective way to earn real world solid value from their day-to-day spend without having to worry about the hassle of opening new cards or worrying about which multiplier was on which card, and do I need to carry to my wallet or put in my Apple Wallet, and I forgot which multiplier earns at the grocery store and which is at gas stations. And for most people, carrying around a dozen credit cards is just too much. And so this gives a very simple and straightforward way to get a solid return on your day-to-day spend all through one credit card issuer. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Citi is actually rather well known for their Citi Trifecta. And this credit card setup consists of the following 3 cards. The first is the Citi Double Cash. This card will earn you 1x back when you buy something and 1x back when you pay your card off. So basically it's a 2% back card, which is very solid. Chase doesn't even offer a 2% back card, and Amex does offer a similar card, but it's a business credit card and not a personal credit card. And so the Citi Double Cash on its own as a 2% cashback card is very solid. But on top of that, the second card in the Citi Trifecta is the Citi Custom Cash, where this is, like I mentioned, that point earning workhorse card where there's one particular category this card will excel in, and that's because each month with the Citi Custom Cash, your first $500 of spend in your top spending category will get a 5 times multiplier if it falls under one of the eligible categories you all are seeing on screen right now. So let's say, for instance, I know I'm spending at least $500 dining out every single month at restaurants. If I only use the Citi Custom Cash for my first $500 in spend at restaurants, well then each month I get 5x back on that $500, netting me 2,500 Citi thank you points. And last but not least, the final card in the OG Citi Trifecta setup is the Strata Premier. This is most definitely the travel-focused version of the 3 cards because it has multipliers like 10x back on hotels, rental cars, and attractions booked through cititravel.com, as well as 3x back on all general airfare and hotel purchases. But that's not all. You'll also earn a 3x back at restaurants, supermarkets, and gas station and EV chargings. In itself is pretty wild to have those 3 multipliers on the same card, because to have gas, groceries, and restaurants on the same card all at 3x is very impressive. And this entire Citi Trifecta setup comes in at a whopping $95, which in my opinion is fantastic value for the average person who doesn't want hundreds or thousands of dollars per year in credit card annual fees. They just want a simple, straightforward setup to get, again, at least 2% on their day-to-day spend and up to 5% back. And it's important to note that while the Citi Custom Cash and the Double Cash are marketed as cashback cards, as it's in the name, you do earn your rewards in the form of Citi thank you points. So for every $1 you spend on the Double Cash, you get 2 Citi thank you points. And on the Custom Cash card, if you're able to earn 5% back on one category in particular, that's actually 5 times Citi thank you points, which you can transfer and pull over with the Citi Strata Premier, allowing you access to all of Citi's transfer partners. And that's where I would definitely argue is the main weakness in the OG Citi Trifecta. As with issuers like Chase, although the Trifecta might not be as strong, Chase Ultimate Reward points are generally regarded as a more valuable currency compared to that of Citi. And something similar can be said about American Express, although the Trifecta in particular with Amex is a whopping like $1,000 per year in total annual fees. The Amex points that you earn, traditionally you're going to be earning more than the Citi Trifecta, but also the Amex MR point ecosystem is very comprehensive, and typically each month you can expect to get at least one transfer bonus from Amex to one of the transfer partners. But thanks to the 2 new Strata cards that launched last week, I think all of this has now changed because Citi has unlocked their own superpower of a transfer partner like Hyde is with Chase and like some might regard Hilton is with Amex. With Citi, you now unlock the ability to transfer your Citi thank you points over to American Airlines at a 1-to-1 ratio if you hold the Citi Strata Elite, Premier, or Prestige. All of these are cards that carry an annual fee, and so if you just have the credit cards with no annual fee, like the Double Cash or the Citi Custom Cash, then you won't have access to the American Airlines transfer partner. But the good thing is, in the OG Citi Trifecta, this works. You can now take all of your earnings at a minimum of 2x back on every dollar spent and transfer them over to American Airlines miles at a 1-to-1 ratio. But hey, there's 2 new cards that just got added to this lineup, both of them being travel focused. So shouldn't one of them at least replace the Premier and get you more earnings? Well, that's what I wanted to find out. But the deeper I looked and the harder I tried to think about this, the more I got confused. And so before we try to concoct our own Citi Trifecta, it's worth taking a quick look at the new Citi Strata Elite and Strata credit cards and their earning multipliers categories. Now, starting off with the Citi Strata Elite card, this is their new flashy premium $595 annual fee credit card that is aimed to compete with the giants like the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Amex Platinum. For the Citi Strata Elite, it actually has pretty similar earning multipliers to that of the Strata Premier, as you get 12x points per dollar spent on hotels, car rentals, and attractions booked through citytravel.com. You'll also get 6 points back per dollar spent on flights booked through citytravel.com. It says air travel, so I'm not sure if like hot air balloon rides are valid in this or like blimp rides, but let's just assume it's flights. And in a very interesting category that I still think is good, but just very interesting, is you'll earn 6 points per dollar spent on restaurants only on Friday and Saturday nights, with all other restaurant and dining spend falling outside of this time frame, getting you 3 points per dollar. Now, for me, I would say that half of my dining out is Friday and Saturday night. So in an effective, let's just call it 4.5x points back on a restaurant spend. That's pretty competitive. Actually, I think it's the most competitive restaurant earning multiplier, again, but with an annual fee of $595. I don't know if it's all but justified. But wait, there's more with the Citi Strata Elite, because for all of your other spend that's not travel or restaurant related, you'll be getting a 1.5x points back on everything, which is very, very interesting because this is the first credit card, the first premium luxury travel credit card that has bonus categories outside of travel. I mean, if we think of the Capital One Venture X, you get 2x miles back on everything, with the only other ability to get bonus spend is by booking travel through Capital One's travel portal. But in this card, you've got at least 3x back on restaurants, up to 6 times back, and all other spend is 1.5x back. Very, very interesting. But things get even more interesting when we go take a look at the Citi Strata card, because it heavily starts to resemble the Citi Strata Premier the closer you look at it. As with the keep in mind, no annual fee Citi Strata card, you'll get 5 points per dollar on hotels, car rentals, and attractions booked through citytravel.com. But you also get 3 points per dollar on supermarkets, and 3 points per dollar on gas stations and EV charging, and 3 points per dollar on a self-select category of your choice. And this might seem crazy and overpowered in itself, but when we take a closer look at these categories, you'll see that the available categories to choose from to get 3x back is fitness clubs, select streaming services, live entertainment, cosmetic stores, barbershops, hair salons, or pet supply stores. So not the most general and broad categories, but an extra 3x back, I'm not gonna scoff at that. You'll get 2x back on restaurants and 1x back on everything else. And so now that we have a full understanding of these 5 Citi thank you point earning cards, let's try to swap out and replace some of the existing cards in the Citi Trifecta to try to build the ultimate setup. Now, my first thought was to take out the Citi Strata Premier and replace it with the new no annual fee Citi Strata card, as these earning categories and multipliers, when compared side by side, are almost identical. It's kind of funny. Obviously, the no annual fee card does have a lower point earning multiplier when you book travel through the travel portal, but I myself almost never book travel through travel portal, so that's not really an issue. But apart from that, you're getting 2x back at restaurants instead of 3x back, and everything else is incredibly similar. And so when we make this change, now our new Citi Trifecta still retains most of, if not all of the same earning multipliers as before, but there's one glaring issue, and you can probably realize it. It's the fact that we just took out the only credit card that gave us access to transfer our Citi thank you points to American Airlines. And the reason I'm making such a big deal about not being able to transfer Citi thank you points over to American Airlines is because with most of the other issuers, in order to get true, amazing, outsized value with most of their airline or hotel transfer partners, you're probably going to have to stay in more luxury or aspirational properties, or you're going to have to fly international flights or business class flights to get a wow factor cents per point. But American Airlines is one of the few loyalty programs that even just on short local domestic flights, you can still find fantastic value. I'm talking 1.5 to 2.5 cents per point even on readily available redemption flights that start as low as 5,000 miles. And so American Airlines miles, at least for now, still retain a lot of their value without needing to plan some crazy redemption or crazy itinerary or the need to fly in business class. Compared to Delta and United, American airline miles are so much further ahead of the other domestic airlines. And so for me to make the Citi Trifecta work, we need to have at least one card that can transfer points out to American Airlines. And so, okay, we can't go completely no annual fee, but what if we take out the Premier and drop in the Citi Strata Elite card, the new $595 annual fee card? Well, the first thing is the Citi Trifecta annual fee now jumps from a very affordable $95 annual fee for the whole setup to $595, which is 6 times as expensive, which probably is going to make this look way less appealing for most people. But even then, let's still take a look at the categories and earning multipliers. And okay, well, this card at base gets 1.5x back on all spend. So having the double cash in here feels a little redundant, because let's say that you spend on average $2,000 per year. Like, this is your only credit card setup. You're dropping $2,000 of non-category spend per year on your Strata Elite or your double cash. If you were to spend $2,000 per month, that's $24,000 per year on the double cash. That ends up being almost 50,000 Citi thank you points. Compared to the 1.5x back on the Strata Elite, that's 36,000 points, again, at a 1.5x back on all of that non-bonus $24,000 in spend. And so when you think about it, you're only missing out on around 12,000 points of value in this scenario, which realistically, instead of opening up the double cash for the Citi Trifecta, I would probably just save that slot and maybe go open a Chase card, like a Chase Sapphire Preferred, to get a 75,000 point welcome offer, or a Capital One Venture. These credit cards do have annual fees of $95, but they also come with welcome bonuses of 75,000 points, which is 5 times as much as you're currently missing out with that 12,000 point delta, again, between the 1.5x and the slightly higher 2x back on all spend. And then so I guess at this point, it's just the Citi Duo with the Citi Strata and the custom cash. But then because we're taking out the Premier card, then we're losing the 3x back on gas stations and supermarkets, which I find incredibly valuable. And in a similar fashion for the Citi Custom Cash, each of the eligible spend categories almost overlap 1-to-1 with the other multipliers we've seen today, whether it's 5x back on restaurants or gas stations or supermarkets or live entertainment. This card is only really good at one category per month, getting you 5x back. I guess we need the Premier and the Custom Cash with the Strata Elite to get good, decent value from this. But then the annual fee is almost $700 per year for this trifecta, which is just getting a little out of hand. Like, I love American Airlines miles, but honestly, the Citi Strata Elite is kind of commanding a really hefty $600 annual fee that I don't know if it can truly get away charging. And then so I guess the last change we could try to make this all work would be replacing the Citi Double Cash card with the no annual fee Citi Strata card, because in that way we still retain most of the earning categories, actually the ones we need, which is 3x back on grocery and gas, and still having 1.5x back on all of our other spend and then having the Citi Custom Cash be there as that last miscellaneous 5x back category. But to me, I think this whole setup kind of misses the point of the Citi Trifecta, because we've gone from a very simple $95 annual fee setup where at the base level, very bottom dollar spend, you're getting 2x back on that. That's fantastic. Top end, you're getting 5x back. Obviously not on travel or anything. And with this new setup, which is basically the Citi Strata Elite, the Citi Strata card, and the Citi Custom Cash, you're now getting 1.5x back on all spend, still retaining all of these similar categories, but now you've got an annual fee nearly at $600 with statement credits that I don't think are valuable enough to really warrant most people to consider opening this card if they're not an American Airlines loyalist. And so where does that leave us? In my opinion, it leaves us right back at square one. The Citi Strata OG Trifecta really did a great job. Without these two new Strata cards, I mean, just that core setup of 3 cards, the Premier, Custom Cash, Double Cash, it's great. It's great value. It's $95 a year. It's incredibly affordable for the average person to get into the points and miles game, accrue miles on the day-to-day spend, again, without having to worry about a hefty $600 annual fee plus these statement credits and coupons and things you've got to worry about using. And so although the new Citi Strata and Strata Elite cards are flashy and shiny and they're the brand new object in Citi's ecosystem, I still think the OG Trifecta is just the best. I was running circles around myself trying to find a way that this kind of made sense, but with the Citi Strata Elite 1.5x back on everything, it kind of makes the Double Cash a little useless. And then with the Citi Strata almost having the same exact multipliers as the Premier card, that also makes it hard to include because, well, we still need the Premier card to transfer points out if we're using the Custom Cash and the Double Cash. So really, if you want to open these two new Citi cards, I say just do that. Open the new Citi Duo, the Citi Strata and Strata Elite. Because if you're someone who loves American Airlines and you love the Citi ecosystem, then you're going to love this setup. As with the Citi Strata Elite, you're getting fantastic earning multipliers on travel booked through Citi Travel. You're getting up to 6x back on restaurants and 1.5x back on everything else. And for those supermarket and gas station purchases, you'll get 3x back with the Strata card, again with a no annual fee. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on the Citi Trifecta. Did I overlook something? Did I not, figure out one particular combination of cards? Or is the OG Trifecta truly still the best that Citi's ecosystem offers? Regardless of the Strata cards not being able to slot into the existing Trifecta, I still think Citi's ecosystem is now just that much better. Honestly, kind of putting it on par almost with Chase in my opinion, just because of right now how valuable Amex miles are. That can all be changed in the future if American Airlines devalues their miles, devalues their currencies because of this new influx of Citi Thank You points going and being transferred into American Airlines miles. But again, at least right now, the Citi ecosystem and with these 5 Citi Thank You point earning cards should definitely warrant your attention if you're someone who flies American Airlines frequently or has ever been looking for some American Airlines miles. If you want to see a full review of the new Citi Strata cards, well then make sure to click here and I'll see you over there.